Everything we've had and tasted so far has been absolutely delicious. So tell me exactly, how does the Sous Vide Supreme work?
Great, well let me show you. We're gonna do a simple recipe of Sous Vide Supreme salmon, all right? So the first thing, of course, is we're gonna fill up our Sous Vide Supreme with water, all right? We're gonna fill that up right to the line where it says to fill it up. All right, and then it's real easy. It's got this really easy hand control right here. We're gonna set our temperature. In this case, for salmon, we're gonna set it to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, and while that's warming up, we're gonna prepare our salmon. All right, so over here we have our beautiful fish. And then we talked about with sous vide, you can use a little bit less seasoning, a lot less seasoning, because all of the flavors get really intense when they're in the vacuum bag. So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. We don't need a lot. All right, we'll put a little bit of chili on there as well, just a touch.
Maybe a little dill.
A little dill, I like that. Dill and salmon, that works well together, doesn't it?
I love it.
All right, a little bit of dill, a little bit of lemon zest. All right, I love citrus, so we'll put a little bit of kaffir lime in here as well.
Oh, yay.
All right, and then of course a little drizzle of olive oil. All right.
Because everything's better with a little olive oil in it.
It is. Okay. I did that for you. I might have used butter. But. All right, so now we're going to have to put our salmon inside of the bag and get ready for sealing our salmon. All right, so this is our food grade safe bag.
You want to be sure you get one that's both food grade and suitable for cooking, because you're going to cook in it. It's not just going to store in it.
Sure. And now we're going to grab our Sous Vide Supreme sealer. All right.
Okay. Now wait, that's a vacuum sealer, right?
It is.
Okay, well, if I have one at home that's not Sous Vide Supreme brand, can I still use that?
You can. You absolutely can. If you don't have one at home, though, this one was devised especially for this use. Okay. And you want one that gives you a good vacuum pull.
All right. We have our bag. We have our fish. All right. And then we're just going to easily clamp this down. All right. That was pretty easy, right? Yeah. And then we just hit vacuum seal. And you can hear right now the vacuum happening, and you can see the oil and the lemon zest and everything. You can even see the compression of the vacuum on the fish, and that's a good way to think about how the flavor gets into the fish. It's being compressed, and all the flavor is kind of going inside. All right, so that's done. That was what, a minute, not even 30 seconds. All right, and here's great. You can see the salmon inside of the bag.
And it looks so beautiful. Doesn't it look? It looks like a work of art, like a stained glass window. It's so pretty.
And salmon's a great example because it is such a pretty fish, quite honestly. And then real simple, we're going to take our salmon and we're going to let it go for a little swim. Salmon like to swim, so that kind of works. All right, and we're going to cook it right here.
And you just put it into the rack. You want to make sure that all of the fish or meat or whatever is under the water.
Okay.
All right, so of course we have one that's already prepared for you. All right, so we're going to grab the top of our Sous Vide Supreme, which kind of functions as a tray as well, which I really like. All right, and this has been cooked for 10 to 12 minutes, all right, really quick. All right.
You know, you come home from work and pop it into the Sous Vide Supreme, and in 12 minutes you have, let me tell you, the most delicious salmon you have ever tasted.
Right, it's a much lower temperature than an oven, like 350 or 450.
And that's what makes the difference. Fish is a delicate thing, and there are delicate oils in the fish that you don't want to destroy with high temperature cooking. And so they're all preserved. Look at the color of this fish.
Absolutely. Now you notice the fish kind of looks like it did when it was raw.
Right.
Right? Which is to me one of the beauties of sous vide cooking, because it's been cooked so gentle. All right?
Is that beautiful? Is that just gorgeous? Okay, and just grab a little bit.
It's interesting because normally when you cook salmon, it gets really pale. Yeah. And it hasn't lost any of its color.
And none of its flavor, and none of its nutrition.
It's so good. This is just as good, if not better, than what I've had in many restaurants. It's really good.
Well, that's what I think too. And you know, I used to cook fish outside on the grill because I didn't want to smell the fish in the house. And I love to eat the fish, but I hate the smell of fish in my house. This, you get none of that.
Wait, speaking of fish on the grill.
Oh, yeah?
Right? This is fish out of the salamander. But that's a piece of salmon that's been, I would say, cooked badly, right?
I would think cooked.
Or perhaps normally.
Typically.
Typically, exactly.
Typically. What would you rather have?